Udoka, 37 years old, standing 6'3". His last fight was a draw back in February. He's been training for 3 years. Considers himself a traditional Muay Thai fighter who uses his length and long-range weapons well. He said he's kind of been in full-time camp for a year and a half, really just looking for fight after fight after fight. Worked on his hand placement, defense, counters, combos, and kicks. He said he is a lifelong athlete turned fighter, and even though he's 37 years old, there's still gas in the tank. He told us to expect a great athlete who became a great fighter. And when you look at the build of this man, you see the lifelong athlete.
Wow. 6'3", you could see him play any other sport, and I wouldn't be surprised.
100%.
Ready in the swings on stage, James Bodnar.
James Bodnar, the White Lion. James the WhiteLion Bodnar. Again, 34 years old, also standing 6'3". So we do have two very tall gentlemen fighting off against one another here. Now, though this is Bodnar's first kickboxing bout, he has competed on street beefs in the past. He mentioned himself as a pure boxer. He's really only been learning to kick since accepting this fight 45 days ago.
Wow, 45 days is not a long time to have kicking in your training regimen. However, I do think just focusing purely on boxing out the gate is one of the best things you can do. You use your balance, your stance, throwing very basic combinations. You only have 4 attacks: jab, cross, hook, uppercut. So you can really build in a lot of these fundamental things to get your combinations in, your range, and especially establishing a jab if you only focus on boxing. However, his defenses are not going to be ready with only 45 days of working with kicks.
On the other side of that, if you know street beats, you know that this guy will be a game opponent for anyone. He's going to come out there with energy to put on a show. As you see with this walkout, he already is.
He described himself as a Tommy Hearns long-range style fighter. Said he has KO power in that right hand.
This morning, weighing at 63 inches tall, weighing at 163.8 pounds, fighting out of Tampa, Florida, representing Tampa Bay, This is the opponent fighting out of the red corner. This morning, at 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing at 164.6 pounds. Fighting out of Orlando, Florida, representing Minnesota champions. Happy welcome, James WhiteLion Bodnar. We actually need to referee for this kickboxing contest. Chris Bodnar.
Bodnar asked me to make sure to mention he's dedicating this fight to his wife Lexus and his 4 kids. Hopefully he can put on the show for him.
Yeah, Bodnar definitely came out with a certain swagger. I'd like to see that. Whoa! Ton of aggression out of Bodnar right out of the gate, throwing some bombs.
Aggressive start.
One thing I saw from Udoka right in the outset that I wanted to see is Bodnar prepared for leg kicks? Because when you come from a boxing background, leg kicks are definitely not something you're used to. And getting that front leg chopped out will take away your punching power for sure.
100%. And not only are you going to be used to seeing him coming, but your leg is just not conditioned to be taking those shots. The more times you've been kicked in the leg, the less damage I'd say it does. If you've never been kicked in the leg, though, it's going to really damage a person, a lot more than would the average mixed martial arts or kickboxer.
And Bodnar, every strike he throws, he's winding up that right hand when he ducks. He's looking for the overhand. It's
looking for that big shot.
And Nwosu's doing exactly what he should do. You see a very bladed stance out of Bodnar. Nwosu's keeping range, backing up, and then chopping at that leg. Sooner or later, Bodnar's leg is going to give out from him.
Big swing there from Bodnar. I love the strategy from Udoka. It's exactly what I would do if I was facing a boxer. Kick that leg.
Nice right hand by Bodnar.
Yeah, Bodnar, so you can already see the switching of the stance. That's what I meant by these leg kicks are going to start doing some damage and really prevent his legs from even working underneath him. You can take a guy's legs out when he switched back. Watch.
Oh! What a kick by Udoka.
You know, and he'd been setting those low leg kicks up to finally come up high and gets the knockdown in the first round. Wow! Bodnar's kind of out on his feet. You just saw him fall into the cage. Wow! I'll tell you what, getting punched in the head and getting kicked in the head are two very different things. And Bodnar just came into the flex fight cage and found that out.
One of my teammates just fought at bare knuckle fighting last night, Jimmy Rivera. He said it best. He goes, people ask me if I'm afraid to get punched with bare knuckles in the face. He goes, I've been kicked in the skull with bare shins. You think a fist bothers me? Here we see it. Boom, big leg kick. All right, now you see Bodnar again, feeling that leg kick. You see the way he shakes leg out here?
See him, he threw that inside leg kick a lot of times there. Nwosu did.
And now hands down, hands down. Here.
So here he switched back. This is where the head kick comes. Right after the stance switch, boom, brings it up high.
Not telegraphed at all. He snuck that right behind the ear.
The winner by way of TKO.